Radio, Emutaro. NFM Radio, Emutaro. Mania, see fire will burn you. I want NFM Radio. Jumedia mansa musa ede bro. Ejuada kopem memneda. Enumre non song. Ekopem non do. Radio, Emutaro.
for say dear yenam top connect so emani sika de bagana if we wiase afa na nyina yentia ka pre ane aye free top connect amasika manie ayem rekra ye wo hia ne se wo be download with top connect app no e wo play store de ama wo android phone and as we use iphone so a ko apple store na download the top connect aye simple kra top connect wa man be aduonum so wo Europe North America and Asia wo mane wo dofo sika fa top connect so a aye ntem na emre na ma wa hoto so say dear sika manie di foforo kra any top connect so we hia chechemu bia Fred Top Connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect our Befontin Tefidie nyina so Top Connect fesika mane wa dofo asumdjemu a untia kapre Top Connect yensu ye die
Let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send me says so, your work can see come air conditioner, and also dumb air conditioning, no, and said that more can see no crane say. One funny papa and I'm installation now, with everything called enterprise, say air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Odemo, a Rubia, okay, you never called room, it's a cold stores, and a Bavia, you didn't ever see, I was saying, you know, everything called enterprise. A nice one at your Mawa, a Rubia, no, but you medicadica. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels on SWA. You want a nice at your Mawa, or you be a boost straight, not the only your body will fee. So, what do you say? And our gas in a sense, say you'll come with the another dear, and our cold store dear, you know, very nice and quick, but we will be a baby yet the amount. Also, more bridge, Bobby sit down, I will make anyone over to me for you can lie with so. Nearby install air conditioning, Ibiamamu. Friend was 447508650279. Oh, wager, I just sent kind of fire service. Wow, friends, 0544-489-343 and 0302-906-276. Your website, you know, everythingcode.org. And I send you an email, kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise, air conditioning, master, no.
NFM Radio, Emudaho.
President Nanado, your friend Matheson, Sunyana Namiwo. Makwatna awonu Holland, Akwa Sam in Fifure. Sikaka kre minya yeno. Mediaba mia me maimu Ghana. Diababe to registered bank, AJN Bank. President Nanado Uber TV so be catch Ghana for say. JN Bank anye nejumaye. Tiwaje bank ne licenses no. What the customers nisika be more. 3 years money. Mensanka emisika. Sikaka kre ka yeno so. 550 million. Media kwa to commercial bank. Na midi commercial bank de midi misika koto ho a e save. President Nanado enam IMF bosiana wo kwa akoboni nti. Osimi misika 550 million na odi akwa akoye adwuma enya interest wo so no. Once the Quran omfa mame. Misika trend no so. Ose omfa mame. Jese 2024. Na sika no interest ketewa no a menya no. Obema me mu 5%. Menya adwuma wo Ghana. Mintimi so enko Holland se me koye adwuma. Mimfi akọ animu kakra. Kwan ben so na mefa so a me ne me yire ne me mba yibedidi. Mr. President. Mesro se me ma se me be street carefully ho. Mia misika makosam infifure enya no. Mesro se obema mensa aka. Obi bia obi tie saa me audio me recording yi bi no. Mesram se mode beto mo platform so. Ebetimi afa so ma President Nanado nensa aka. We nyama se mi bi etie. Ghana mpanyinfo for mesram so se mo ne President Nanado be kasa ma me. Medamase.
Good morning, President Nana Ado Adanko Akufo-Addo. I'm paying me bano boko. Midin the ASP retired Franklin Nate. Mesun Ghana ewo police mu 24 plus years. Na me gratuity me san kano me dito bond 2 years. Aka 1 year this year, September. Year 2023. Na mi bond no amateur. Wo adwina wo di ba ye say wakoboka ana wa bugana abofom enti me bra ma bre sika medi to bond no commercial bank no onfa mame we enye am robber ene be chimiji me sika o oman panyi a ya to abama no se onhwe yeso emra wo fru plane 18,000 pounds an hour nkrofo kachreo wante emra wo fa so many ministers se omunu na oni omu betumi aye adwuma nkrofo kachreo wante ene your incompetence inti me bre amabre me disika yedi tua me ka say gratuity me fa hwe me ho so no o si wafa this is 2033 se mi manu na o pese o mu beji sika na me na no mu a menim president woni die mu o Israel unuana ni bank edi enim eji loans no mfaso a wanya no misrew mano fa nsa mfaso no ekotu yesika no mesika no mfa mame nanado utrimu yedin papa obi a maye juma Ghana mra kire say 24 years plus no yentu ameka as a retired officer no usi wuntu ameka me nya 60 years here nanado misrew mi bisa wo. Have you been a civil servant in Ghana before? Have you worked as a civil servant? Please. Nanado. Mimpese. Mbe kasatiao. Mimpese mbe dumi wusu eni ubusian derby. Midi yao esreo. Tise na Mr. Matheson. Efrisunyani esreo no. Jai misika mami. Midin the ASP Franklin Kwesi Nate. Me tome bon wo commercial bank. It was Accra North branch. Please, I beg you, in the name of God, don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Anybody who receives this, please send it to as many platforms for Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo to see, to hear, and to see. Or his cousin Ken Oforiatta should hear. Please, 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 Nanado, I'm not supposed to beg you. Because when you were begging that you should be tried, I remember traveling from Kumasi to Kofrodua to vote for you 2016, thinking you are bringing something on board. I regretted it. I have regretted all my life. Some friends told me, Anka unya accident or question na uya. Well, Nanado, please, whoever received this message, forward it to as many platforms. Let Nanado hear me and ensure I have my money. Thank you.
name wacha manage 2 years says here the fear be 2 years I wanted them what's name 2 years we are 2 years account says here no sir dan someone has a per se open single room says here no put 600 unkuta 500 unkuta 700 800 nya dying says here agent for age 100 CDs for viewing fee and I say 80 Ghana for viewing fee just show you the room says here if you're for beer the omodayam agent for uchia ya 9,600 also uchia agent 900 600 900 and almost 1,000 CDs why says here you to the end day why like why what like why hey like it's serious say matina them 2 years I'm paying 8,000 now I'm supposed to pay 9,600 and you're taking the 2 years you take 1 year and put me can't see me 6 months in 1 year. Says here there we hear Juma me feara. Uba boa no busumi pay the amount. Say 600 or say 700. You have to eat only small one a pet because a whole month no pet. And see back on one bed then. Ume she bibi yo. Ume she bibi yo my one penny for monka one semi na. Youth for the year brenna ye kun ye anyhow. A direct in tea ye begging pontino. Ube come ye kun. Go back home a year kunti you to nanti ye brand a dance kunye a day how Ghana ye ble papa a day and then fear walking in and catch a very me patro me pedimod because agent viewing fees so do what said them or bet you 80 CDs and now say 100 CDs and then there's some are dying who could have 600 nya single room name or do 2 years 600 CDs 2 years because of that into the ultimate mother or no person or two now or do a for a show on what 600 what 500 that they would turn into a person would 2 years and the moon can share my and say you to the year bread. Ye ani ye beto abo ni ye aso ye to aba na me dey be influence in crop for keke
NFM Radio emuda ho Mania, tie fire will burn you. NFM Radio. Jumedi mansa musa ede bro. Ejuada kopem memneda. Enumre non song. Ekopem non do. Listen to Fire Will Burn You on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Right. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, you are welcome to these portals. You are welcome to NFM Radio. Another beautiful, that is a Monday. Here in the UK, today is what they call bank holiday. Or it's just a holiday. What happened is because the coronation was on Saturday, you see the booze up. They know the booze up will happen. So after the party, they say the morning after, people will be so tired and everything. So another, graciously holiday. Another graciously given holiday by the powers that be. I think from the king. So we in the UK here, it is all the holiday continuing. So what can I say? It's still beautiful, even though the weather isn't that great. You know what I mean? It's not rainy, but equally not very charming as well. Anyway, so welcome to the program Fire Will Burn You. This program, we talk everything and about everything, including the current affairs, including the small problem of Ghana politics. You see what I mean? Ghana's politics and everything. Ghana is the only place that, no, I won't say it's the only place, but I think the third world, or it is a third world disease or West African disease where, you belong to a party. It means everything. The party says eat shit and you will eat it. Otherwise, I don't know why anybody would defend this, this big hole dug or this cathedral business. This cathedral venture, I'm not sure, I don't know how anyone with either cells of brain working to defend this, because I've always said that, look, those missionaries, those kings and queens in faraway places where monasteries or churches, chapels, this kind of Buddhist, shrines and all those things were built. If it is 21st century, if it was today, nobody is building that. It was the necessity of them times or those times when, men of culture, men of intellect, deemed it necessary to put up an edifice, a structure. After all, it was, countries and groups and let's say tribes and mass group of people were being controlled, run or ruled through churches, through religion. So it was rather befitting that churches or big structural edifices to worship God, it was befitting that these were built. Now in the 21st century, anyone thinking that the best thing to use money to build, even if the money was there, even if the money had, the money is not coming from a borrowed source, if the money was spare, I think God himself, I know he's listening to me, he would appreciate it big time if they built houses plenty. So that someone will say, oh, in West Africa, a country called Ghana, it's not that, rich in anything, or they are not first world country, but the seriousness of it is that they don't have, officially at least, they don't have homelessness. You see what I mean? Just like today, people talk about, Gaddafi, what he did for Libya, that has been destroyed. If you listen to the Western media, powerful Western propaganda outlets, they will still not even acknowledge that the problems that we are now experiencing in West Africa, obviously, wouldn't say that confusion, civil wars, and the rest had come about because of the overthrow of Gaddafi. But the fact remains that ever since Gaddafi was overthrown, exactly what Gaddafi said, or his warnings that never got through to the mass media through the propaganda junkies of Western press. It never went through. He warned that, look, me being taken away will open the gates of hell. And all manner of people will just rush in and rush out. That's what his threat. That they will rush in, come to Libya, but they won't stay there. Lo and behold, Gaddafi's country is not very porous, open to everything nasty on this planet. So people who, may have started, let's say, agitations or, civil strife or civil wars in their own neighboring countries, they would have carried on anyway. But overthrow of Gaddafi made it possible for arms to begin, to be sold or to be given or to be reached so easily by everyone around the west coast of Africa and, areas thereabout. Very sad indeed. Very sad. When you listen to the Western press, you won't hear nothing like that. Oh. They will blame anything. Oh, the Libya, this thing is this. The Libya fascists are fighting. Oh, the Libya two people are fighting there. The side that the UN, the government acknowledged by the UN and some other generals, troops, they are fighting. They would never say that, look, the misadventure carried out by Western nations that has destroyed that area. And now the remnants of that destruction is what West Africans are now envisaging or experiencing. So, obviously, some of us will try and explain and say it. We are not ignorant. I'm not ignorant to this fact. A lot of people, they dress nicely, they put on tie. People ask him, Mansa Musa, when you dress and you tie up nicely, you look good, you look more intellectual. I said, Jesus Christ, I don't want to look intellectual. I just want to talk, speak fact, the truth, nothing but the truth. So the point is, I've seen a lot of people dress up properly, wear suits, wear tie, and they use all the jingles and all the, the language that somehow portray them as though they are very bright. But even most of these people are completely overwhelmed. They have been, how do we call it, schooled, indoctrinated by this powerful Western media outfits. So the truth never get to be told to them. Can imagine that Africa, the whole of the continent, the only two countries that did not benefit from Russia, i.e. the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union's help, and in this case, Russia's help, to, their quest to help most black people to gain their freedom from Western imperialists. Many people who dress up nicely in suit and tie wouldn't know this. Obviously, nobody wants war. I'm not sure Russia have got it right in this Ukraine war. But goodness me, I know the machinations of the West. I know how Russia itself has to be got to be divided, chopped into pieces. If you don't know Russia to have got ethnic parts, and the West, led by America, wants to divide all those places. Look, they've got so much minerals there, so much wealth. And so the fight is that they bring the smoke screen of democracy, this multi-party democracy, where the party that, the West will support, surely they will be in power. And when the West support you to be in power, you have to adapt their style of politicking and style of commerce and economy and everything. And so the whole negotiation will go that, look, all this, your timber, your rivers, your natural resources and the rest, it needs to be commercialized properly. It needs to be democratized. That's the word they will use. So instead of government public control, it comes to private control. Which people might say, okay, fine, that's all right. After all, if the public and the private sector is running the economy good, that's fine. But I tell you what, the secret is that the West, they are very clever. They divide your countries, share the wealth through their subordinate within. So before you see BP and Shell and the rest go into your country, monopolize the oil and everything with personnel, local personnel, but all the big monies will be going back to the West. I'm just simplifying the mechanisms, the understanding of how these things happen. I haven't written it down, otherwise I'll use much sophistication to explain. You see, and so we, especially in West Africa, how, last time, the other time, somebody said this, how come people that have been enslaved, have been colonized, enslaved, not treated very well that much, they gain independence. And straight after the independence, the same people are running back to their colonizers, their oppressors. Now in a different form, in a different guide. Because the tactics now, the strategies, that it's not about, physical force, which the West can sometimes use as well. But that they manipulate the whole system through the top hierarchies. So your chiefs, your kings, your top directors, your politicians, your priests, they all will have to live big, live the democratic way, live the neoliberal capitalist way. They know very well that when they create that insecurity and lack of belief amongst ourselves, no African thief or a proper a top hierarchy who have embezzled money, they know that they won't save the money in anywhere in Africa. The monies will be saved far away. So if Mansa Musa is the king in any African country and I've got about $50 million in any bank outside Ghana or any other country in Africa, of course, it's in my name. Hopefully, when I die, people will inherit that money. But actually, it is in somebody else's bank in somebody else's country, and they can manage the money anyhow they want. This is the strategy all across board. As we speak, now the West is running helter-skelter, making sure they are going everywhere to convince Africans and their leaders that, they are still good. They are still very much important, and we have to trust them. As we speak, they will come and tell everybody, the Chinese come and they will borrow you so much money you can't pay, and this is that. The difference is that, the Chinese will come and borrow so much money, but they don't have any, what sort of, how do I say it? Any sort of political control, let's say, ideology. Theirs is not to come in to change your political system, no. Or change your way of life, no. Theirs is that it's money for money. Unlike the West, that will come in, take the money, still regard you as inferior. Every now and again they say, we have given this group some scholarship or this. We have considered this group should go here, come to Harvard, and all. It's all nonsense. It's all bull cutters. Every time they'll give a vast amount of visa for young people, young workers. Now it's not about forcefully taking people from their home villages, hometowns in West Africa to go and work the cane farms, go and tend animals for free, and that's all. No. Now it is voluntary. So people voluntarily will sign up to go and spend the rest of their lives in Europe, America, build their economies. This, to me, Mansa Musa, I've always been saying, it shouldn't be permanent. It shouldn't be forever. There should come a time that the confidence, the true meaning of, self-worth, that's a word, self-worth is really appreciated, understood and appreciated by a black person, a black African. Today, I had to call a program, Talk TV. This, a black woman made a comment, an actress made a comment which I felt was really not in the right sense at all. She said the balcony where the king and his family people stood and waved, that balcony was extremely white. That means there was no black people there. And people who are saying that how she spoke was, racist, I agree. That woman, something, Ajua Tano, something, I forgot her name. Ghanaian, British Ghanaian. And I'm thinking, this woman didn't speak well at all. What you had to say, and she acknowledged that the main event itself was beautiful, it was nice, diversity. We saw lots of different colors, black, orange, everything was there. So what you got to say is that we hope that the next 10 years, 15, 20, because I'm not sure people are going to wait 70 years for another coronation. I don't think Charles will survive 30 years anyway. But you say, next time we hope that there will be coronation. We hope to have, or we hope that there will be, people of our color skin also standing in that, on that balcony. That is fair comments to make. But when you say, the balcony was extremely white, what do you mean? So somebody invites you to his or her party. You go to the house. Then you see other black people, white people. Now, you finish the party and you come out. You sit in your car. Then the guest, the host, he and his family members come out. They are white people, come out to wave you goodbye. Then you turn around, look at them, they are only white. Jimmy Kasasa. But she is an actress, so supposed to have sense more than anybody. Let me go for a short, this one won't be music, short commercial. I'll be back.
Yenam top connect so emani sika de bagana if we asia fanani na yenchia kapre ane aye free top connect amasika mania ayem rekra ye wohia ne se wo be download with top connect app no e wo Play Store diama wo Android phone and so we use iPhone so ko Apple Store na download the top connect aye simple kra top connect wa mind be radio num so wo Europe North America and Asia wo mane wo dofu sika fa top connect so aye ntem na emre mawa hoto swonso sese die sika manye di foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia fre top connect e wo +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect e wa befontin fidie nyina so top connect fasika mane wa dofo asumjemu a untia kapre top connect yensu ye die nie
Let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send me says so, your work can see come air conditioner, and also dumb air conditioning, and said that more can see no crane say. One funny papa and I'm installation now, with everything called enterprise, air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Udamo, a Rubia, okay, you never called room, it's a core stores, any Bavia, you didn't see, I was saying, you know, everything called enterprise. Every year, a nice one at your Mawa, a Rubia, no, but you Dika. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels on Sua. You want a nice at your Mawa, or you be a boost straight. Now, you know what you will fee. So, what you said, and our gas in a sense, say you'll come with the another dear, and our co store dear, you know, a very nice and quick, but we will be a you don't have a yet the amount. Also, I'm over it, so I'm over sit down, oh, my can over to me, I'm afraid you can lie with so. Yeah, install air conditioning, Ibiamamu. Friend was 447508650279. Oh, wager, I just sent kind of fire service. Wow, friends, 0544-489-343 and 0302-906-276. Your website, you know, everythingcode.org. And I send you an email, kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise, air conditioning, master, no.
NFM Radio, Emudaho. Mania, see fire will burn you. NFM Radio. Jumedia mansa musa ede bro. Juada kopem memneda. Enumre non song. Ekopem non do. Listen to Fire Will Burn You on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
religious district, when they speak, they shake the foundation. And it is only the church that will address meaningfully the canker going on. And they want to silence all credible voices. Now, today, we will reveal everything to you. This question has, direct relation with the pronouncements of Reverend Professor Marty. Let me tell you why people do not want Professor Marty to talk. Listen, they have tried, politicians have tried all means, all means to muzzle me, to get me, but they can't. They come with bribes, fat envelope, $100,000. Listen. I want everybody to listen. Politicians came to my house with fat envelope, $100,000, not cedis, dollars. And also with the promises that, if you keep quiet, we will give you a house at Trazaco with swimming pool. You know what? We will give you 4-wheel drive. These people were lucky. I did not have big dogs in my house. Else I would have released the dogs to bite them for the whole world to ask, Papa Moderator, my boy one again. Papa Moderator, I then I would tell me now you release the dog. Then I will tell them, ask what they came to do. You know what? They have tried all means.
Papa Moderator, Yadasi. Anyway, you are listening to Mansa Musa, and the time here, just about 7 minutes, it will be 8 p.m. here in the UK, and it will be 7 p.m. in Ghana. I will have an interview with Professor Nana Ama Brown Kruche. She is a physicist. The lady is actually very clever. I affectionately call her the brain box. And she hails from that part of Ghana where very brainy people also hailed from. I can say hails from because some might have died, but their name still lives on. The area where Dr. Kwejir Agri came from, that is where this lady, this woman, the physicist, that's where she comes from. She wants to be the candidate for the NDC. So she is slugging it out with another NDC, how do we call it? NDC candidate or, candidate, yeah. They are doing the primary, so if they are selected, whoever wins is going to stand in election time, general election, he will be. And this lady, she's very clever, for someone who teaches physics and, all these international bodies. I've read about her background, her profile on Wikipedia, not WikiLeaks. On Wikipedia, and her profile is quite impressive. Brilliant lady. And I am very proud to say I hail from the same area she hails from. And tonight, after the initial introduction and the rest, I will speak Fanti because I've just spoken to her quietly behind the scene. She is at a village somewhere in Central Region. And she is in a village, they are doing campaign. So we have to, she will go and hide somewhere and we'll do the interview. I heard them, people shouting behind you. So tonight, after the introductories, and I just, I promise that we're going to speak the fancy for the locals who are going to vote for in that primaries to, make a good consideration when they want to cast their votes. Now, mommy, where I will frame here, try to, now you are saying you are sorry. You'll be sorry, Ampa. Just calling, then you want to call with, I also didn't check before I see it was a video call. Huh? Where you know, say? Anyway, so from now till about 8:15 this UK time, it will be Mansa Musa and one and only Mansa Musa. I'm going to, rock and rock and rock. The other issue I want to talk about is the fact that, you see, I wrote a little piece about how it came about that the king from a country which was previously known as the Gold Coast, where gold is said to be everywhere, where gold is being mined everywhere. So it means that country has gold. A king from that country travels to another jurisdiction to go and witness and be part of celebration for another king. That other king in his country, they don't mine gold. The only time they can get gold from the ground is when they use metal detector to look for, gold that has been left, by the Romans. That's the only place, the only time people in Britain here say they found gold. Otherwise, all the golds were from somewhere. Some of it, they bought it genuinely. Some, they beat people, killed them, and collected it. And some, too, they call it as gift. You see, so Prince Charles or King Charles and his people, they have so much gold that somebody told me, the gold they are putting on show, the one they use or the one they is on the carriage for the show, that is a small thing. The gold they have in their vaults, the gold bars hidden underground somewhere, under buildings, second basement, second basement, third bit down, the gold. If they show you the pictures, there will be mutiny across the world. So in our country, Ghana, we have so much gold apparently, but nothing resembles a gold state or a country that really revels in gold. Nothing. Not in the form of heavy, nice, long journey, motorways, dual carriage, three carriage, anything. Not that. No heavy, industrial, heavy, ever since Nkrumah built some bridges, the rest, not even that. Not heavy, properly built schools, well equipped with gadgets and everything. Not any proper payments to public workers. Not properly built, adequate, everywhere available hospitals. None. I can go on and go and go. And Nkrumah bought something they call Black Star Line, a ship, massive. Nkrumah had the aeroplane. He built the country. Yayeni go so. And we say we have gold. So for our king, your king, to dress up with some small queer trinket, some small gold be on the forehead, on his arm. Come and greet somebody who doesn't mind gold. So much gold. Because other chiefs and people who came from elsewhere, I didn't even see them try to, put on the gold show. because they knew they couldn't match it. You see, what has transpired should tell us something. We don't learn, we the blacks, we Africans. The only country that someone will climb an electric post, a pylon, ostensibly to kill himself, actually did kill himself. And nobody, there was no outrage, nothing. A country that somebody says that, look, I'm going to build you a church or something out of private money to praise God. Out of private money. Now we come and find out, all the money is coming from the government chest, even without the parliament giving approval. Nobody rise up to say, hey, musa, we are the citizens. This isn't right. No. A country that, as we speak, they are holding, or we are holding the begging bowls, going on our knees to beg people to beg IMF for us. We beg people to beg IMF for us. Then just before, a day before the World Health Organization will announce that COVID is no more a problem, just a day before, Akufo-Addo calls parliamentarians, his ones, he has tried everything to undermine the opposition by everything, by court and everything, so that they can use the small fianga majority to do everything they want to do, which doesn't benefit the people anyway. So he gathered all these people and they have voted themselves massive amount of borrowing, almost to $1 billion. I'm telling you, any country, this UK we are living in, the Asante and all of them came to, if their citizens get to know this sort of haphazardness, this recklessness, they will weekend, you see them at Trafalgar Square and everywhere, demonstrations. But the Ghanaians are sitting there. Enra, I gave you me here, if I can get it out. I don't know. Maybe I can't find it because I didn't save the number. Someone, please, can you help me with money? I said, look, first and foremost, I can't do that. Oh, and more so, I don't even know you. Oh yes, I know you don't know me, but I read some on your platform and I'm sorry, I need money, and I'm a trained teacher, but still a whole lot of this. And you think the hardship in the country, the hardship that Alotejo Caps will come and tell people that don't complain because if you can get 2 meals to eat, you are okay. Jesus Christ. You see the mentality. Today, Al Jazeera program, forgotten the title. They show how in Korea they are trying to minimize food waste. The amount of food that they had to throw away. Now they want to use that to make compost and the rest. In Africa, somebody will tell you that, oh, don't complain if you can get 2 basic meals a day. Meanwhile, that fellow, his stomach is bigger than mine, and he does not live on 2 meals a day. Then kwasi somewhere koso ye kromu no wodwe hwa wonti ase. I have to remind you again that when it's about 8:15 here in the UK, 7:15 in Ghana, I will have Madam Amma. What's the name? Amma Nanama Brown Cruchy. I tell you, this is one clever woman. And she is challenging for the position, a candidate a primaries election coming on for the NDC. She wants to be the candidate for the NDC for the constituency of Abura Asebu Kwamankasi constituency, AAK. That's where I hail from. Very, very, very clever people. The people who started, formal education, most of them started from those areas. Just that the mentality Nkrumah wanted to, instill in us was all wiped away. So those areas are still very poor, very wretched. So please, don't go away. Don't turn off. Don't go and listen to anything. This lady is good. And, I want you guys to listen in. And when the time comes, give us a shout here in the studio by way of calling the studio numbers. And I will let you speak your mind. It be simple like that. Very simple indeed. NFM Radio, Emutaho. Right. So then, when you see some of these news captions, it said a bag of cement is now 800 cedis. Why John Mahama is trending? Bag of cement, too. So you can imagine. Some of us started our project long ago. So obviously, I don't think we'll have that money again to do anything. But if you want to, put out a building or anything in Ghana now, your money will fetch you many cities, but so will the prices, the cost of goods and services will swallow all those cities. So, apparently, Mahama is trending. He said, flag bearer aspirant of the NDC, where is it? The flag bearer aspirant, the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, is trending on social media platform. This follows comments he made while addressing some farmers in Pandai in the northern region of Ghana. He said, while addressing issues regarding the current economic condition in Ghana, John Mahama sought to give an example of the current price of a bag. Okay. Okay. So, according to the story, I say today things are expensive. If for a farmer today, a bag of cement is 800. Mr. Mahama said. I think if you wanted to say a bag of what do we call it? A bag of 100 cedis, many said, how much? Seeking for clarification. A video, okay. All right, so you see, the whole thing is that there's so much to talk about before we get to the elections, but the nutshell or the bottom line is that for those who wants to be, the aspirants for the MPP side, a lot of people will say, oh, Mahama is not bringing any policies here. He's not having any message. But what about the guys also on the MPP side? Because I don't know, or I don't think any of them will say, oh, I will make sure prices will come down. I don't think they can say that. I'm not sure they can talk about the what do we call it? The CD exchange or the exchange rate anymore. I'm not sure these guys can talk about fighting corruption or, for that matter, fighting what do we call it? What is it? It's galamsey. So, as somebody said, he said the election will be based on economy, corruption, and what else? I've forgotten the other one. I don't know what message the MPP side will bring. Will it come and repeat after Nanado? That is good, so they are continuing. Or they will be voted for just because they happen to be MPP people. Maybe that is what they are counting on. Just maybe that's what I think. Otherwise, I don't know how or on what this LPP side, I don't know what they are going to campaign on or base their campaign on. As I said, as the time comes, we'll find out, we'll make sure we bring everything on board. But now, though, I got to go to Ghana somewhere, a place that I'm always very proud to say I hail from that place. A place that the former or the earlier intelligent people, educated people, somebody like Dr. Kwejir Agri, he hailed from that side. And it is the same side that this woman, whom I call the brain box, also hails from. Her name is Nanama Brown Kluchi. Nanama, good evening. Yes. Nanama, ye checha o. Aha. Papa no rekasa no. Onu krana no ye dinis no. Jesus Christ. Is there any chance about me baby kakra not to because me kasano very very well in the in my monitor. So let's see if we can have her adjust her position a little bit so that we can speak to her, because I know they are having campaign. They are doing their going rounds, talking to voters to consider them. But if you heard the noise coming, it is that too much to have it on air. Hopefully, let's try again, because we will need to talk. Let's see if we can get a proper, a little bit sound. Okay. Right, you are listening to Mansa Musa. The program is Fire. We are waiting for the number to respond. Then, Nana, welcome. Hello, welcome.
Thank you, but I'm still in the meeting.
Okay. What do you say? Do you say we should do it in 1 hour time?
Then that would be good.
Because Mama Kano, a lot of your fans are listening. I want you to share the link to those people who are listening, or those people about as well, so that let's say 7:45. Will it be okay by 7:45?
That's fine.
A catch your managers in the 1 more by 15 minutes be 9 years broaching from Casa. Me feel that what I say.
Yeah, but then so let's do it 7:45 as you said.
Okay. All right.
Is it okay?
Yo. 7:45, yeah, because I want the sound to be clear, and don't worry, 7:45 I'll call you. Ghana time.
Okay.
All right. Yo. Bye bye. Right. So okay, let me change this one quickly. What audience time no enye ready. Any program in Kasa, can I call? Of course you can call if you want to discuss something else. I thought anyway, when I saw it, I thought you mean if you want to call to ask her anything. We haven't started with the conversation yet. So please kindly share the Facebook and YouTube links. Share it to everybody, and make sure everybody listens to Mansa Musa, because I know you can't ping. Na pempe I can say me no me see me ntiase ye say on my Ghana ye see 2 gold man na free Gold Coast. They say me meeting say Gold Coast, say Gold Dust, say Anhua Coast, say issue whatever it is. You see a gold see obia. But you will agree with me when you be the other say ye krom hon se be bia esikafo krom anase ye wo gold at all. Enti dia menti ase ni say first and foremost, sir asante ni ba be die ni party ni birthday e wa brochire ha. Then secondly, obaye no coronation ye Prince Charles on ni krom ha ye ntu gold wa ha. And so enuanum ni adofo sabu nyina mo hu gold on display. Mo hu gold that say gold is power, say the power of gold on display. These are the people who are so clever that they don't have lions here. And so almo football no din every 3 lions. Jesus Christ. Now gold you see gold no. Just say this carriage, which is over whatever 300 years or whatever, no? The carriage, Prince Charles and the Queen Camilla, You can imagine, say, about 200, 300, whatever, 400 years ago, Omoba, Yempatem Homoba Ghana Hono. Numbers is a gold, no, na Montias, and I'm the gold, the come go de Mokore. Omodi exchange appetition, schnapps, any Caesars, any China, now say cap, tea caps, any other, any guns, and two near the idea. They brought the gold idea of the bay. One who design the gold, no, the INC chariot so, and any pattern upon country. And a chromosono. Ye gold, no, and they say on mine and cassa. Ye the gold in Ankasa say we are not using gold to build our country. We are using it to destroy everything. Jimmy Sano, what is wrong with us? Are they? And everybody fully say, what has gone on? No? People should start thinking deep, like me, Mansa Musa. Say, how? Ask yourself. How were we, or how come we were the so-called gold coasters? We still believe that we have so much gold, and yet nothing to show for. Our way of life, our existence, the practical, physical, what we call it, structure of the country, nothing to write home about. Efi. Yare, ekom, ohia. And kwasasem. Then some people, they don't mind gold. And so ba omukromwa, ohunyomo eguho. And na gold no madaf bika o say hey, na gold no mo de kire ni de say katiwe bi. Omo ko bia omo gold vault no so e wo underground basement bunkers na. Gold negotiation, there will be mutiny in the world. And I believe it. And careers will be a bigger. We got to learn. Say, yempedi for no. Obia di 40 years ikono baba ye penny that she will lead the country, no. We got to develop that attitude, that culture. Say, you make sure your people live, by what they've got. Hello, my pretty daughter. You have joined me on air, so of course I'm on air. You see, my pretty daughter have just called me, and she didn't even know I was on air. So I am on air, talking away, and you've called. So the whole world will be a retail. Yeah, we are listening, baby.
Then let me call you back.
When
you close.
All right. You take care. Yeah.
All right, bye.
In about 3 hours' time.
Okay, that's fine.
You.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Right. So my pretty daughter just called me, surprised me with a call, and she doesn't know I'm busy here. Alrighty. Okay, it's my fault. I should have told her. I didn't send her the link, so she's not aware. So obviously it is my fault. And me, when you call me, I'll let the whole world know that you are my prettiest daughter, and you are calling me to wish me how are you. I know, nothing else. Just to wish me how are you, baby. That's all. And I'm very happy for the call, really. Right. So like I'm saying, how come that we are called the Gold Coasters? And so look, every time we make this comparison, these references, so baby, it is Pretoria in South Africa, Johannesburg, all those places are too good. Now they compare Adansi, Obuasi, Sanso. When they compare Nsuta, when they compare Takwa, Abba, what is wrong? Why? Now something in our sheni go like the church of one kitwebi. no the be yachia or London na wo obronia or no chance ya only gold when you chrome amun 2 gold as you gold and now bani cry apart from the gold now amudi twem amudi ye show no amu what gold papa be brego baby so amun 2 gold and now a bani say ye fa gold in fa kra nkosia wo look at the things that look. Today, I read somebody are going to start rebuilding the NHS or more infrastructure. And the infrastructure na wahanwa and dano Dr. B. Pamicho friend me say oh Mr. Wa me bon kai say wo yes our blood test no na ya twa yen sankai na so mate weekend there holidays there me ma obia nkotwe boja abonsam bia ntumi ntwi moja me twa mo kina from Tuesday go to treat the just moja. The NHS now, I had no cramufu say it is struggling. We take it for granted, no. Bien wa yet to me, I can say ye gold. Forget about diamond, cocoa, forget about bauxite, forget about lead and sumbi and everything. Forget about the fish in the ocean, and forget about even the oil. Forget about all. Gold, pet. Country where endorsing BIBC 30 million, 32, 38, whatever. We are not many at all. Actually, said if we had people, who had the brains to lead the country, and if I said, president in Kwao, but everybody who has power, including the chiefs, the kings, including well-educated people who come every now and again sitting on radio station and on programs discussing issues. If we are able to use our big brains, big head, to do something for our people, the country, just like Osajifo wanted to do. No, apart from him, maybe I would say a champion, buga soldier sem. And now, so we can do something. Now it's all about the money market, the capital market, the bond market, the borrowing, the lenders, and the agency, the rating agency. It's Africa. Can you have gold and gold and gold and gold? And yet, now you are even begging, they don't want to help you. Parliamentarians are almost called holidays. But by force, they have come to approve some loans. And one thing about these loans now, you approved just recently, is that no one is asking the interest rates on those loans, because our lending, you can say, our credit rating, that's what I want to say. Our credit rating is completely below zero. And and people don't want. So anyone from anywhere who is going to borrow that amount of money, at what interest rate? And they did it. Look at the COVID money, it's about 60 million or something. That COVID money, they made sure they put it in law before a day before the World Health Organization was to come and say that, we need to, COVID is no more a problem. Kufuor, I've told you, he has accessed all money that he can access. Every money everywhere. He goes to remind these people, what is their name? This climate change people. You people say you give Africa some 50 or 20 billion. Where is it? Just but what exactly do we have to show for all these monies? Then to actually say to compound the issue, actually say young ya bono, and he say tune in tuma eba hin krumha na hwe gold amount for display na hwe gold kitwe bi asesan ye hin ne nsa na ye see ye free sika dwakofi ye ne ye free Gold Coast Don't we have to think about this alone and make sure the next coronation, the next king will beg that please come. So no, we are busy. Because they will know that we have so much money, we have it at home. Not that you, the penny for you, what is their name? You, the rulers, the elite, have all your monies outside the country. All your monies outside the country. And when you go to those places, the people, your compatriots, the people you go to meet, they have all their monies there. When at all will or is when at all is the African going to think small? When? That been before I started some beginning. Say Queen Camilla. Now he channel, especially Ghana in our budget.
NFM Radio,
say enjoy you. It's not right, is it? It's not clever. It's not beautiful, is it? For what it's worth, our people have to start thinking. Our people, our elders, our leaders, our elites. Because we be front to man na mabe chinchiri will be kroma bridge there abeye party. Encha who? I want the next generation. There are something of that time, no? Or any birthday. A cuckoo dam, every man, a hinibren eba, because they know, say, hey, maybe I call yes, scow, a man for no more. Now, be a independent that and crop forward, SCSI, Cassie, Yeniati. And still, we are running to them. That's where, because they have good hotels, Rochester, the rich, the expensive hotels, something royal, and this and that and that. Just say that means you are good enough. No. If Ukrom, ordinary person be a Ukrom mansa musa, the doctor can ring him. Specialist doctors can ring you and say, oh, please don't forget to go and do your blood test. Because the idea is that you've paid into the system. You've worked almost all your life, so you've paid into the system. So the system has to look after you. In our case, no, not. In our case, it is just that the elites all have their monies and their wealth outside the country. And they are lording it over the people. And then Nipano say go on so Jimmy Tino. Say we chrome be behind Koso. Now he continue birthday wa brochira. Malaysia we are. Chase on be chase. Jesus Christ.
NFM Radio,
Yala yasasi. Yankasa so say yala. Yankasa say yala. Let me remind you that Professor Nana Ama Brown Kruche, she is on her campaign rounds around the Abra Asebu Kwamankasi area, and that is where I hail from, and that is where most renowned educators or people who started serious educating. That's where they hail from. And this lady I'm talking about is bloody clever. Bloody clever. Damn clever. And, well, she's on round. So I've spoken to, I think you heard it. So much noise because at a DURBA grounds or rally grounds and that sort of thing. So we have agreed that about, say, 15 minutes to 9 here in the UK and 15 minutes to 8 in Ghana. We will try again to see if we can get a quiet sort of environment so we can have conversation. Until I go, if you want to come in to say hello to me by way of a call, you can do that. If you want to call to support, or to condemn what I'm saying, you may do so as well. You may do so. The telephone number is 028 123 5911 and 07876 251 261. Today, I called a certain show here in London, Talk TV. It is Talk Radio, but now they have Talk TV. We called to discuss something, and I reminded or advised that they should have their numbers on the TV screen because I struggled to get the number. And they thanked me very, very well. They say sometimes they put it on, but they put it on so big it covers the face of the presenter. So, and the presenter, Kevin O'Sullivan said, well, I tend to announce it all the time. He announced it. I said, yes, it's so quick, so fast. I don't think anyone can actually write down any number like that. Anyway, so the number here is 0208 123 5911 and 07876 251 261. Call Mansa Musa, and Mansa Musa will let you speak. Fire Burn You are listening to Mansa Musa. That's the program, that's the title. Fire Burn You is just, metaphorically. I don't want fire to burn anybody down or anything, And I always do want to, or try to advise everyone to be very mindful of how you use electrics. Back in our parts of the world, our area, our Ghana, most fires are caused by electrics or misuse of electrics, especially power cables, whenever there's something which is known as short circuit. Short circuit is the technical term, but it's just that when, the current, comes in contact with, if the current flow in the cable does not flow through that cable properly, and is interjected or intersected, comes in contact with anything, then there is a power jump or short circuit as they call it, and that can cause huge problems. So like I say always, fire is good when fire is your servant. Just like we learned in the automobile, you can say automobile or automobile, internal combustion engines. Internal combustion engines, it means the fire, takes place within the engine itself. When these engineers and scientists started manufacturing, inventing engines, especially the train, the fire actually occurs outside, where they use the coal. They put a lot of coal in it, then the coal will burn and heat up liquid, and the liquid is blah, blah, that kind of chain of events. So, obviously, that was external combustion. But internal combustion, the fire and petrol, the fuel, they come together to perform good, very necessary actions, and it makes a car be able to drive round. That is good. Combustion, fire, that fire is good. But when fire becomes your boss or your manager, then you are in trouble. Never allow fire to be your boss. That's why I'm saying that if you have electric connections and of all sorts, make sure, don't overload external leads. Extension leads. The extension leads that you plug into the one side of the wall, then you run the leads to somewhere, maybe where your TV is. And that external extension leads have got four points or 4 sockets. Make sure, usually I don't put even all the 4, I'll put 3, if you plug in 4, it's okay. But people will put in 3 plus extra adapter, and that adapter may have another 4 points. So in the end, you have about 7 different equipments running on a piece of a cord that should take only maybe 3 equipments. That should run only a certain level of electric current. You have increased it, unnecessarily. Then when it heats up, and talking about heating up, our place in Ghana, West Africa, the heat is already everywhere. So any small mistake, then there's something. So I always tell people, look, especially where you live and maybe you live alone, or you all live, the children leave for school, wife goes to market, the husband goes to work, or vice versa. Make sure that you leave maybe the fridge, and let's say if you have CCTV or any security thing, then you can leave that one to work. But the rest of it, just unplug them to save you money and to save you headache. Don't burn your house down. That's a very simple, health and safety tip I can give you for free. So now, metaphorically, you are here listening to Mansa Musa, and the program is called Fire Will Burn You. Very soon, I'll try and locate this. Okay, thank you. Locate this university professor who goes by the name Professor Nana Amma Brown Kruti. She wants to be the candidate, NDC's candidate for the Abra Asebu Kwamankasi constituency. Trying as much as possible to say if we can get her, and we will take it from there. Okay, thank you. So let's go and see again if we can get Nana Makluche to come and speak with us once more. Hello, any luck?
I'm ready now.
Brilliant. Were you able to share it to your people to listen to us?
Actually not.
I'm saying.
But we are recording it, right? You have a
Yeah. Look, it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube. We have special recordings. So recorded is not a problem. I was thinking that you giving them the link so that they will listen in.
That's fine. So I will share the link.
Yeah, just share as we speak. I mean, I know you know your way around these things. I know you know. Okay. Like I said, this woman hails from a place I'm very proud to say I also hail from, because that place is the best place of most of the well-known, well-educated personalities who ever lived. I mean, who lived in Ghana those years ago. One of them was Dr. Kujir Agri. And speaking of Dr. Kujir Agri, well, we don't have the time, but those of you who have read Ghana's history should know, all the lawyers, the big lawyers, Mr. Sabah and all those guys, those guys are all from those areas. And that is where this lady, this woman, who happens to be a physicist, very clever. I call her affectionately Brain Box. She lectures in at Legon, and in her spare time, she's a politician. Now, though, she wants to be active and become the how do we call it? The candidate for NDC for Abra Asebu Kwamankese constituency, and that is where I also hail from. So I'm very, very proud. I've just read her profile on Wikipedia. Very impressive, very impressive. But now, for the sake of the people of Abra Asebu Kwamankese, I will switch and speak the Brofo Yedu. Brofo of Abra. Nanama Mama Waju.
Yeah. Mansa musa.
Missy. Mala, make it there. You, what you mean, Yado? Right, Tama, make it there, Mammy B. I read about you sometime or actually, but now or not on the politics, there be but now in Komobi Bay, and I'm comparing your casa, but actually about 2-3 years ago, anyway. And actually, me be show background na obi ka chem do. This is the woman I open the challenge wo Abra Asebu Kwamankese. I'm not surprised. We need such people. We really need them you pay and ye here on. And she said, my friend, na me nyina twetwe nkomo kakra ntia nyibiri me fra wa abrochifu nyina wo tell, but me pade ye kan fanti e ma abrafo wote. Enti na menyo reka fanti. Enti akwa babio.
Yeah.
Na me say, mami emenu ma kan o background kakra. Baby a start with school na de. Bottom in a short spell no achirechirem listeners mo who baby free ba and where you are at the moment.
Yo, but that's the baby. I'm far away through the Namintia. A tearful na Abra Asebu Kwamankese to Memofo. Me wa Tinchara Yaka say Ikrobi or Abra Asebu Kwamankese constituency no friend new Ebu. I campaign time near war in Semeba Proa. Made them a message. And as I met my baba Abra Asebu Kwamankese, Nimpuntu, Nananka, Kwana Rutuba. Many I want to what to about where branch executives. Saturday, what to our bench work on delegates more reason come that my EB say no, we should not fake for a one woman metina me, metina baby, and my bosoka cry of the meaning. We call Fantiman girls, we call University of Cape Coast. Now make a PhD or University of Cape Town or South Africa. But yeah, a crash. International Center for Theoretical Physics for Italy or a Trieste city no. And maybe Technology Institute nti. I mean, I'm a pioneer to start the establishment of the Ghana Space Science and Technology Institute. But yeah, Juma for 7 years. Nah, what do baby know? When I'm home there, I have to train people. I need to train more brains. Was area number one because you endorse or Ghana has that field. Until me move it to the University of Ghana as a senior lecturer. Until 2 years on, and my associate professor for physics department at the University of Ghana. As a citizen who abra sebuka mankese no, me nkakankra at my level in my personal individual capacity. But in there, abra sebuka mankese wa kechi. Nyama bebree ho impuntu menipa a wofi ha won kanko nti medwen there ana mo hu there nya bigger platform to help amabua manfo abrase mankasi onti we decided that my contest as a member of parliament na me gina here name of parliament ya say embra obobo he no abra asebu mankasi na ibiso me da atwere mpuntu Mezaba Abra Asebuka Mankesi. Intimacy ase wo the man Montu 2018. And I last primaries were 2019. I Lucy marginally. But I do not prepare the Mezaba contest no. It's still there. In Puntuna Waki no da ha. The leadership Papa Biamon Capibin from Brahen. No so or ye issue or da ha. To me decided again to contest. And your contest no more. Within the party, I fulfill all the obligation,
all the necessary criteria.
Otherwise, no my all the I've met all the necessary criteria. And I'm and I see no about to abano just this Saturday 13th May. So I'm my big come over pro campaign at film. But even within the NDC, I was not a member of the national campaign team for 2020 general election. The son name a year. The son so be a vice president for professional forum. Was central. I remember was me a member. Me drafted a manifesto of the 2020 election campaign manifesto. Mintu mboboni na nyama bebre na aboa ye the NDC.
Right. Ensi marka nyina no oto asum kama. Na sebi yen ya abrabo na ede wo Ghana na Africa ho no yen nyina ye ka ho bi. Akede obi ebesi a what Canada kakra or they are looked down upon Bonyebeka. Ain't so be besiano okay a party cry no. Na so change benina na besiana it there or starting from -1 and sana wakodu 0 cry. So far no ihwe wa probo ihwe nkrofo a wodi wachi na response a inya no aso oto then ehu there chede does it worth your time ehu there wotum bi diwechi na botum akon is akwakodi nkunyim.
Yo, me that say I'm there. Me refer. This is my first time I'm on contest ever in my life. As at last 2019 primaries law. And say Moshe there me back. Politics more just 1 year on. Active politics just 1 year on. And I had to aba. And na me besia me that me inform me other contestants. When you hold in after and when you hold there were 7 men. Now me kind of me besia me do. The Moshe the votes are mupulia. From nowhere, never done politics before, never been into a contest before. Now, that's vote, that number of votes, and with that marginal gap, the company, I have the strength to move on. Probably maybe in time kaka. in politics, yet to be in use on the moment and find your case. But when I'm coming to find to me message and to my center. But this time around, for find to me message, with the white in your baby, I say, Abrasa Bukamankas, Kenya Bisca and for 1992. Since then, Kenya Bisca MP up to now. And no footprints, no signatures were around February, and yet to me I refer to. Nyama oya bisia no obebe about 110 for years but to me nyama bebre a bimu mpo to mo compare them before aba so many years all together mo wa yempo on match up to ma bisia no be 4 years no obebe ye it's apart from a message apart from the bisia na metina hanyi ni a minim ikomo for one problem sa mo to ma tanda mo ba kan na wo hwe Sia na mbazamba otum obo the on your position them or the compare my OC 1992 yen MP yen bisia na ente message na call and nkofo one responses no you're happy with my message ente me did there Saturday oya nyamene pa obeye adam he challenge ni there ejuma no ohia time Lanjing there, able to me for 4 years. I did bet him what to a better and I didn't to Mr. Sako, another candidate to them. That is the first aspect of this whole campaign and the politics. Yeah. Because of you, I be a basher, Sikabia, Obi de Bamane home. Meanwhile, I will and in Atsna Abuan war, a bien and throughout, and at the time of need, you're able to meet it. But I did bet me out to abandon.
NFM Radio, Emudaho. NFM Radio, Emudaho.
I will try and get her back. The line dropped as it does with this sort of a connection. Yeah, it happens all the time. The voice you're hearing is that of Nana Mark Brown Cruce, a lecturer, University of Ghana, and a politician as well, vying for position of NDC candidate for that constituency Abra Ase Bukamankasi in the central region. That's her voice you are listening. Right. Sister Ama, line it to from Kakra, but as for WhatsApp, the demand or we will carry on. But my question for them be so you there. If central regional, Mala, Musa, Mia Frakakraba, 70s, no, Femina Naba, Kobna Kwa, Nimakasa, or Abrudun Kwa, Isha. A fancy fool didn't buy into either Krumano too much. They always, veered to either UP side, Kakra. This, background makes it very difficult for anyone to break through. Mekai there, Obiti there, at Tamils Day, now all struggle. Banasco, Fantini, no struggle. At Tamils, Emisata. All these top fancy people, no. Well, walk room now what they all know to form now. How do you now? I want you to Debia tell us how you are going to, if you win this primary, sir, how you are going to, how do I say it, compete and contest against the background there. Fancy for now when Sheda, you find the socialist side, they are more inclined to go UP. How do you fight that?
Yo, but I say, I think the dynamics, as a son, first, the time, a good number of votes from Central Region. 16, of course, Central Region swayed. 2020, Central Region swayed, they call UP tradition. I be there in this 2024. It will depend on the work I central region. Now I believe we can get a good message. Now if we are fight on. Nkofo pede wo hu. Nkofo pantafo titu pede wo nya gidi. Wo oboto aba no mu. Say good message of hope. Yadaba. It is there. Pantafo oboto aba was my NDC and win. I mean particular no. I mean situation in particular no. Mikromofo are yearning. Eba to me mofo nankasa. More kind of one for Obanabra. Into getting the seat for the NDC no day. I remember your candidate on Yaden to find my head because we want something you them if you have now Matsna Henry Matson has some say, me as somebody be do to me die a campaign against me. And say Adam Dodona day. You do what about go as a NDC than any other candidate NDC represents. It's here in Juma Baby in farm from who to win the general election. And say, me about an election, primary year movie. Once I'm up across the primary year, general election will be much easier because I'm a mechanic near Chromon fancy. Martina Bra. With the meeting into Macan Abraham Fancy. To be the same platform or Donna Macan Abraham Fancy. One with a Huazinium. And maintain the Biara, Pedota, who be Biara audition. And say, you go to a Jumana a Bayer campaign, the message about they are offering Kakanka Kaba, you to me winning. Yes, seats no war, Abra Sebuka Mankasi for NDC.
I see. Given that my introduction, most people from time immemorial, most educated people hailed from that side of the country. Given that background, are you surprised there when it comes to development? Like you say, that area really is lacking in development. Oh, this one has dropped again. We will get there. We will make sure we come to a nice concluding, not French. We are not going to allow French leave on this. Let's hope that we can get the listen back. Okay, let me try again. You are listening to Mansa Musa, and okay. Right, okay, thank you very much. Let me see if I can get it again here. Okay, let me go for music quickly. Fire will burn you, Mansa Musa. 21:04. That means 4 minutes after 9 p.m. here in the UK. It is the same number of minutes. That's 5 minutes after 8 in Ghana. I've been talking to very nice lady, clever one as well, all the way from the central region of Ghana. She can speak any English, we can all speak. But because she was at the parade ground, or not parade ground, but the DURBA ground or the campaign grounds, and she has all those people about her or around her, I just wanted to speak Fanti so that her people will absorb the message. Me there, Mamila, I am busy, but yen kakra damana, yen fampuna, walk up wabo 8 mwapa huizi, nature there, or de bia, what science would to quan. Enti, aqua baby.
Yeah,
right, Nami Bisa there. Nami Kade, we had a lot of well-educated people coming from that area from the very beginning. But my question in there, are you surprised that when it comes to infrastructure or development, that area, Central Region in particular, and that Central Region as a whole, and that area in particular lacks infrastructure or development? Are you surprised? Are you worried by that?
Yeah, me are worried about it because say obi ba na be what obi so ba na be what na ya come to I too. I can the Central Region difficult, then turning in our platform, it's a spider web of many factors. And there we need a holistic approach. Yeah, able to resolve most of the time. Poverty is the underlying issue our hand. If you have too much there, into me any more BBRM. Na dealing with this here another time, probably an hour. If you give me your platform for an hour, after I disintegrate the spider web of the challenges Central Region General. Mukrum war Abraham constituency challenges different from Central. But because of your village, most of the time your double sword, our double sword challenge. All they deal with for Abraham on easy, but on a hunting in a Yamubi Yapade Yaba. You can see a bubble was no. If you know how would see the Paido to Sampara, but once not Paido. It's a different approach solving challenges are on your fit for pepper. And say that would be her, but once in a hand, one say and challenge the now to Mama, a typical example. In February, we had a meeting with the European Union. In that meeting was on energy transition. And me fee Ghana and me up to there. To spend to me up to there. I'll me for the first set of equipment now. Yeah, the body resolve energy transition over Ghana. But wait a minute, so I can't look. Maybe if you use firewood near the saw, firewood, you say, Jabaka say, oh, man, paying be there. In the use the firewood, but they use this new stove or oven. Now, for Habemana or Coachella, Diana Bano, it's a form of exercise on your panel.
Yes.
But it's they are transiting something else, but the end there, they use the gas cooking oven. Or stoves. Gas no outside. You are to transport the gas cylinder to go and fill and come back and it's a big challenge in the village. Into bringing in everything, or the issue how it will be fixed for a purpose. Honestly, one of the challenges are you want people all right, maybe you are well in the what the development but it doesn't fit into the people's needs, especially when you're on it over a custom. The new check every all paid about the back. What do baby know I had them? Me had them a day about when I tell you. It's many double head arrows are there. You deal with months and Kankana, you deal with it.
You see, Asama Kanama, it has rather brought something to mind when you're there. Like you have explained that they, in order to adapt these new phenomena or new technologies, without considering the associated the logistical concerns, that has been problems. Most of the times, even as a country, as a continent, we have gone through this all the time. We just accept things and later find out we cannot even manage it, let alone try to. And you have said something. Mama, mpada meka in the law. You can poverty war area muhopa. Poverty comes about not because sabi na botuma to kotokum na achiche scam on. How to create jobs, or create the environment for jobs for people. For example, minim there anywhere that humans exist, anywhere, if there are 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, let alone if there are 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000, everywhere, there will exist what we call rubbish. So I'm giving you the assignment there. You got to sit down and plan something, formulate a policy, something. You are a physicist, so you know, I think you understand what I'm driving at. The rubbish. Then another word, bank. If say more buying bado, now you don't behave like how Nana Akufo-Addo has destroyed other people's banks, and you leave banks like Papa Kwesi Ndumbuni banks, because even the Chinese have shown there, anywhere you put a bank and you regulate it properly, let people save more than they take out. Within some few 5, 10 years, you see the development. So these two things, banks and rubbish. If you are able, you can, the people, not you personally, but as a group, if you can be able to deal with the rubbish, and this day and age to deal with it, and it's you turn the rubbish into something very profitable. And I'm saying anywhere there is human being, there's free rubbish.
Waste money.
Exactly. I'm not going to use those jargons, waste management, it's rubbish. I mean, the mark and baller, sumina. And because you are a technologist, I'm sure when you was a climatologist, that means you deal with the, you know what is happening with the climate and in the climate. Obviously, climate, it will have something to do with the normal environment as well, i.e., the rivers and the waters now. Gold now, Sabi, Asantehne, Nananado, Nayankrofo, Bakromha, Prince Charles, King Charles, Nikromha won 2 gold though. I'm building up a message for you. Nikromha won 2 gold. And so, gold Allah will display. And the gold in this one Kromha so what if you chrono into abandon. And the Yana no offering Gold Coast, young Kromo, Equa on say baby I want to gold. Gold in the moment say Bibia. You guys will have to find a way of bringing this menace to a halt. For me, I have said it, that campaign message is not good to say it. But really, when it comes to it, I think a ban on surface and alluvial mining must be implemented for a while. I don't know what you think about this.
Hello.
Yes, me too. Yeah, me too. It's a mekasana.
Yeah, so as I said, we need another platform. You have time to discuss.
We need more time, to discuss this. And I'm saying, no, look, me campaign no message, and you may be going to me, but Sabio, dachi, or the Yahweh, Morocco did no quarry on Chaye. What message up at their own crofo, those people following you and people helping you. What do you want to tell them? What do you want to, what assurance do you want to give them?
Okay, that's the assurance may delegates to on there. One share Mama Yada, one share Pempenda made you be meeting and Pempenda made you. I want to abano, I want from them. Baby, no matter how branch many pursue, baby, Miffy, when you miss ye, with the more. And say, Maka is some baby, Medacha one. May you Juma with the UN. I mean, I may represent Ghana for United Nations on climate change issues.
You can explain this part in English for those people. Messages.
So I represent Ghana in the UN on climate change issues. It's called IPCC. Represent for Ghana and bring back the consensus on intervention, climate change, and impact to Ghana. And this is kind of an experience I'll send to Parliament to represent my people, send the challenges we have in the constituency, and bring the interventions required to the constituency. And many of our pursue and how they can trust me that they know my hope, they know my family, they know my mom, they know my dad, they know my siblings, and so I have nowhere to go when I have the power to serve, and I'm in to serve because I have started serving in my individual capacity, and it goes, the whole thing goes beyond my capacity. Demand and the development demand, the needs go beyond my capacity. Only my request there, when you have the seats and a bigger opportunity, serve them better than I'm doing now.
What I want to, the last two questions, somebody just sent me, say, ask them if they are ready or prepared to give Mahama 100% vote. Then the last question is that you yourself, as a lady, for me, I believe in diversity and I want this gender balance in our body politics anyway. And, somehow, my bias is towards where it should be anyway. But my question, there was your, what are you looking up to going forward? I think your age and being a woman, you should be a running mate. You should be a vice president. What do you think?
Yeah, thank you very much. I agree with them. We always have the will and the ways, but the system will place you where you belong, and God's purpose will come to pass at the right time. At the moment, my interest is to run for Parliament and help my people. If by the grace of God, the system believes in me, Ghanaians believe in me, and they want to put me on a bigger seat, so be it, we'll work for it, and then we'll grab it and use it for the purpose of which others answer.
What about the Mahama question?
To support Mahama,
are you people ready to give him 100%? That's what somebody is asking.
The constituency, we have promised Mahama 100%. And that's why we were one pick up my brand and with John Mahama's posters, and I'm using it to campaign for him. Yamin Chazi, ada number one wa ne ballot paper no do. Meso me da number one wa ballot paper no do. So I'm campaign for Edith when I'm campaigning for him, and we are all bringing Mahama again. Ghanaians are calling there Mahama Mbra. It is executive deputy to pay Mahama. Ghana for 1 2 months no da ba na nsa ne mbaya president. The man na abra sebu amanke say what's the offer oba ne mbra. The same, there's a delegate. Delegates want to more da ba na when you men see what amanke say for 1 2 months the MP. And say kase de wa ko bebre. Show you and I assure John Mahama the man 100% vote abra asebu constituency.
Brilliant. Michia, your friend then, younger for your friend then, a crowful. Michia Wonyina. Na that chance to say Chamu Quabrodunqua, Michia Wonyinamum. Yeah, Bahoa, yeah, Bouncer, Bishemwa. I brought in me playground into Bishemo. You really, yeah, that's it.
Yo, yes, so yeah, that's it. Abra Sibuka Manka, yeah, what I'm saying, it's yeah, so say. That's it.
There we go. Not just a pretty face, but a clever lady. Nana Kluche, that's the name. The full name is Nana Ama Brown Kluche, born 23rd May 1981. He's a Ghanaian lecturer, university lecturer, and a climatologist. what been do too? It be so. He been, you see, what been na what been? You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Let's go for this one. We'll be back. Right, let's welcome you back if you just tune in. Mansa Musa, 21:23, that is 23 minutes gone past 9 p.m. here in the UK. The same number of minutes gone past the hour of 8 in Ghana. Our program is called Fire Will Burn You. Hopefully, the other contender is Phyllis Ofusukwachi. Hopefully next Wednesday, hopefully we'll get him to also come and perform his part. We will see. But then, sorry, because of the line and the way it was, I didn't want to include, phone-ins to her because I know she was going to find it very difficult to actually hear people speak. So forgive, apology, a big time apology, okay? When it's conducive, it's right for us to do the phone-ins. I don't hesitate at all. I get it done. Tonight, I thought it's not one of them days that we have to do phone-ins. But now we can talk among ourselves. So if you want to say hello to me or you want to call me now, I'll be ready to have you. As they say, I will be ready to entertain you. I will allow you to ask your question to me, myself, or to talk about anything you think needs to be talked about. Tonight I've been mentioning about what went on last Saturday or this weekend, where we had this coronation of King Charles III. And for me, what transpired, you see, the whole spectacle of crowning a new king, a new monarch, right? The whole spectacle from the very beginning, where they started and everything, the way everything was timed and conducted in a very civil, a very polite, a very how do I say it, civilized manner, I'm afraid something like this in Ghana, in Africa, the noise and the mayhem and the, haphazardness and the crowd non-control and the yo-yo and the wah-wah. And you see, I don't know. Our system is wired differently. So that one we ain't gonna blame us. But the whole thing, what has transpired has given me, or it has rather prompted me to think and to ask, what is it about us that we claim we have so much gold? We claim we have so much gold that we used to call our places, our land, Gold Coast. So how come that today, a place that don't have gold mines, today UK here can display so much gold that Ghana doesn't have, not half of it. Even the gold, small gold they are doing and using it to destroy the environment, even that one, it is still being sold on and moved on, and the money is being moved out. You don't hold it. And every you between say or the gold, the koji oil. Emma yeti chrome ho emobiaid. If I say obiaid, for the opposition, they will make noise. But opposition people will say, oh, they will oppose anyway. What about the other group of people who claim to be the neutrals? And do they actually see these things as viable? And unfortunately, something like this, even when their own person like a compre can Japan says it, they brush it aside, they will brush it away. That this gold for oil is nonsense. It's not proper. It's not done. When gold prices is shooting high, you sell your gold. Then if you have to spend, you sell it in dollars or in pounds or any money. Then if you have to spend the money to get oil, fine. But you don't carry the gold about and just leave it somewhere and say we want oil. Nobody knows how, the quantity to gold, to oil, the ratio. Nobody knows. I don't blame them. They can do this because in a country that claim to be very, very, very broke, financially, the government hasn't got money. Begging IMF and everybody for a meager 3 billion. Then one Friday or so afternoon or morning, they gather MPs to come and force and push through loan agreement and pass it so Ghana, the government can go and borrow up to about 750 million or thereabout. We know all this is about the elections. Some monies will be kept so that to be used to bribe people. Some monies too will be invested and pretend as though they are building some infrastructure. They will start certain things. It's all about winning power. The consequence of the action, Akufo-Addo doesn't care. If after 2-3 years and we have to pay so much money, or we don't have money again, Akufo-Addo doesn't care. The plan is that, this is our last dice. We have to play our last card to get all these millions of dollars and use it however we want. You see, the governance, governance, the way we understand it, whether the governance, the type is, what we call it, buga, authoritarian or one-man dictatorship, whatever it is, or even so-called democracy, governance, we don't understand it. We are thinking governance is that you can acquire big money and make sure your family never, grow poor. Make sure that you can find big money and hide them somewhere. Build houses, buy houses. The other time somebody sent me something. The people who come to hospital at Harley Street. Harley Street is in London. I tell you, that particular street is the most expensive clinics and doctors you can find in this world. That's where they are. And the guy showed me names of people who come regularly visit Harley Street. And these people, if you really look into their bank accounts or their records or the history of their working life, there's no way they can get even, they should have $1 million. But those people have so much of the millions and nobody is asking questions. That is why our places is full of dust, full of heat, full of disease, malaria, snake bites, full of miserable existence, and our rulers don't care because we haven't got what it is to govern, the governance. We haven't got it. The essence of governance is completely eluded or eluding us. Apart from Osajifo, who actually knew what he was doing, that he was building a country for the people. The rest of the mankind following him till date is rather sorrowful. As for me, Mansa Musa, I will keep saying it. I'll keep saying it. The harshest word I can use, say a Jimmy Crowd. But who shall say Jimmy? Missy Cra, a krupa. The rest of society will just leave pensioners to go on strike or demonstration. Pensioners. Now, I'm holding for a maburu for youth and the middle age. Now, obiati in the fear. Now, pensioners could have placards. I mean, it doesn't add up. It shouldn't be like this. It should never be like this, that pensioners were the people going around demonstrating. While young people, able-bodied, middle-aged people, just some of them just making noise on the telly here and there, others just sitting aloof. In a country that, half of what is happening in Ghana, half of it, if it should happen in Europe, the whole street, people hit the street. It's happening every time in Europe. And that is the reason why their politicians listen. They do listen. Their politicians also have their own way of manipulating things. They get away with certain things. But when it comes to the main, what do we call it? The main function of a government vis-a-vis the people they are governing, if the equation does not match up, the citizens, they hit the street. I'm sure Ghana also can adopt that, but only they are waiting for the right government to demonstrate against. A Kufado government, they will make sure they will chase you with anything they have to chase you. Dr. Spiogo Gabra, thank you very much. He said, Presidential Promise, Dr. Ekospio Gabra declares support for Muhammad. I think Muhammad will say thank you. No, so. Oh dear. Send me laughter emojis as well. You see, I'm sure Ghanaians know how to demonstrate, how to express their displeasure about all what is happening. But they are waiting for the right government. Because this government, they are afraid. The militaries or the defense and security people will make sure. Okay, I've spoken about that. So I sincerely hope or wish this lady who is standing to become an MP, I seriously wish her a big success. After all, I want diversity. And I love gender balance. There should be gender balance. There should be gender balance, seriously, in our body politics. Because the hot air, the hubris, the normal male testosterone and the rest is going about too much. If you infuse small women into the playground, a little bit of discipline here and there, I know it. Obisi Masamusa, what did you expect? So you didn't want the Asante Hene to be present be so we had a present. I know it's typing mistake, no problem. So you didn't want the Asante Hene to be present at this very important gathering of world leaders. Sometimes you criticize too much, Mansamusa. Well, it's your opinion if you think I criticize too much. I'm trying to say something to portray. I'm trying to explain something that we don't have to live like this, like second fiddles, like second, class, as if we have accepted it. I mean, imagine. When I was, kid, I don't know, where the secondary school, technical school, something, we had a saying. So what is maybe, what is sand to Sahara people? People living on Sahara. What is sand to Sahara? Somebody will say, oh, what is Mercedes to a German? It doesn't necessarily mean every German should have Mercedes, but at least if you go to Germany, you see, oh, this is the home of Mercedes. So for a country which was known as Gold Coast, if you enter Gold Coast, you should have felt that, I've come to Gold Coast. But you enter Ghana now, and all what you see is dust, smelly things, heat, disease. How do I say it? Rubbish life. Rubbish life. Somebody just, I don't know, he's begging me for money. And that fellow, when it comes to voting, instead of him to say, look, I'm going to vote for this MP, or I'm voting for you, the MP comes along, I'll vote for you. But woe betide you. If I don't see improvement, I don't want mimpede, and I say mimpese. What is it? Can be better moto. Nemo, me improvement pensisa away abrabo. If we don't get it, next time don't even come here. This is how you have to talk to all these aspirants, those who want to be MPs. But people in Ghana will tell you, oh, media di charming fruma. Yeah, they woo me. And so now in Namo Hiska. Now Busa Obia woo nim cross a whoop is carefree no. Then you are suffering and you say, oh, I was born into this party, so I cannot let it go. I have to vote for them. Exactly why we have the Baumia and Alajamati and the rest of them still vying to become president. Because they know that the scrutinizing, what we call it, factor in the average Ghanaian's mentality or mind is very weak. The interrogative factor within our brains, very weak. We only say, oh, for Mansa Musa is my friend. I told you that story when I was it Form 3 or so, when, people who wanted to be class prefect, and when you are class prefect in Form 3, when Form 4 comes, and automatically you become the school prefect. So when we learned that, so I want to be prefect, all right, the teacher allowed me to join, and I think 5 of us or so stand in front of the blackboard. Then the teacher asked somebody, Danso, my supporter, Danso, me and Danso, any nonsense, any rubbish, any foolish thing we do together. The teacher asked Danso, why do you want Mansa Musa to be the class prefect? Danso's answer was, because he is my friend. Jesus Christ. There and then the teacher said, all right, this cannot be Mansa Musa, not just because you are a friend to Danso, you should become prefect. So he asked me to leave the blackboard area to go and sit down. You see, so at a very tender age, we were all taught to know that you select people on merit, not just because someone is your brother, your schoolmate, the guy you play football with, the church member, all that sort of thing. No. If Danso had said, look, in fact, me, I was very good at this English language and grammar and all those sort of things. If Danso had said, oh, I am a very good speaker and that as a prophet, I would need to communicate or something. Maybe that time, Saito, you couldn't have said that. But if you had said in broken English or even in account that, Mansa Musa, maybe I would have stood a chance. But Danso said, oh, Mansa Musa is my friend. And the teacher said, oh, Mansa Musa, please go and sit down.
NFM Radio.
At that age, I'm talking about 73, 74, that about. Told me that, no, we want to select on merit, based on merit. Not on Obinyonko, whom you know, as we are doing in Ghana today. Obinyonko. They say some post, director of something, mortuary and funeral or something. It is there that, but on the normal circumstance, we have to decrease the number of paid, what do we call it, public personnel. Instead, of Kufuari, they find who Okubo Wusiano de Betriaka.
NFM Radio.
All right, thank you. So now that it's about 15 minutes to 10 p.m., for which I will retire and come back tomorrow. I'll hope that this particular event, the crowning of King Charles III, has brought home something for us to think about. That we cannot live like this forever. That a king, a big king coming from a Gold Coast, does not possess that much gold. That a king from a country that doesn't mine gold has so much of it that they show off with it. It's a show off. Yet the Nibia even show off. And that is not very clever. That is not very good. I have to say greetings to my lovely, pretty daughter who called. I think she wanted to talk to me, not on air. And so I put her in a critical situation where she was on air. See, that embarrassing that. Anyway, so until such a time that our leaders will see governance as a process of, making things better for the people you rule, the people you govern. They should experience change, positive, at least sometime within their lifetime, they should experience that positiveness. Positivity. As we speak, today prices of things have just rocketed, taxes everywhere. So when you put up these taxes, and now you hear that the president Asante Hene Kufuor came to London to enjoy a lavish party for the Asante Hene's birthday. At some way, they say, are they the other hammer? It's not like Ghana averagely or relatively people are well-to-do. And if the rest of the governing people also do money, okay, be fine. Abject poverty. Abject poverty. Even the skyline in Accra, baby, kakrebi. Uchia will come running to baby and foot throw a fee, a dire chance in Buboso, wall basa be gutter. This day and age, you see a free gold coast or a gold in the war. And it's a penny for 2 coin. Eba, baby a gold no, a good have a brain and penny for a walk from a UK ha, any boo mine year. That's a penny for Baha, ebe ye party, no musa, mania. Just the country, you people got to say something to your to this your leaders, or shouldn't you? And this one, it's not about NDC and people. I always say this, that, look, when it comes to governance and the way our elders, our leaders travel, they all have houses elsewhere, the hospitals are elsewhere, schools for their children elsewhere, it cuts across. We have people like, the well-known one, like Muntaka, for instance, say, Nebano, just say, and yes, I broached scholarship, but big money to send him to UK, America. Fine, okay, fine, if you can afford it. But the point is that we haven't got the facilities, half of it in your own country, and you are running the country. Run the country for a long time, and facilities remain the same, and they start to depreciate. For instance, this UGMC or whatever, University of Ghana Medical Center, newly built, people say things are deteriorating there. No maintenance, apparently. Sometimes I want to ask myself, what is wrong with us? Are we part of the humankind? Oduma kwanyame obo nipa no ye kan ho bi. Ade na ye de ya brabo ani say someone have to be big and odi yi achia just to tell we hwe okọ Ghana TV so and now say discussion be, oh, I just came back from America last weekend. Oh yeah, we went there for a conference and I'm looking at them, I said, look, those traveling, dear pa na wodi ba ebe benefiti ukromufor. That is the first question. I always will cite Osaje for number one. Ne experience during his travels. And no di Ghana. Osaje for to kwaya. And maybe he will be thinking like the rest of them. Even if he was born with that nationalistic or patriotic spirit now, still no. Enka enya refined. Osaje for he's traveled, he saw that no. If I sit in classroom with the white, look, if even me, it happened to me. Obia Russia kasa din way, ye take class na Russia ni ebusa so na dia lecture kan o otiasie. Needing explanation from you. Now, we're explaining we office that they no respect you. Straight away, abrofo, all my life, you know. The moment you do that, he respect you. Into a sergeant who said, look, in order for us to compete or even try to catch up, we need to build our country for ourselves.
NFM Radio.
Today's leadership is all about, say, obienim say, omu wadan, eni ade sikabi oba obienim, nso amfa obo. But what I know, though, is that, Ghanaians, they are waiting for the right governance to come. The right government. I won't bet me are demonstrating because this government, Mamine can as a ube come yekum. If poverty, stricken area like Central Kaswa, somebody climb a pole, what do we call it, a pylon, electricity pylon, to electrocute himself and explain that he was doing that or did that because of hardship. Like the national uproar, this charities and non-governmental organizations, they will rise up seriously. In Ghana, no just we won't say we for obiahu. Yenenamo nkwasi ade nkwasi asem kwanti empanifo nim say ye Jimmy na ohu ba umi announce bibi okwa asori dem. Everything but policy no okwa asori dem. Mwani wu say and trona mudi mwani wu say mudi nyame Bible ni ade di nsem hunu mwani wu adan. You people quote all the Bible you like on this planet. But go to abroad, go to Europe, go anywhere. Go and talk to your peers somewhere and you don't even mention the Bible. Because you know that you are using the Bible to just, to deceive, to undermine the intellectual capacity of your own people, to make them the fools. Otherwise, how can a president say, my biggest priority is to build a cathedral? Abba. That cathedral, it will create employment, temporary one for engineers, fitters, hard carriers, bricklayers, architects, site engineers, draftsmen and all this architect and the rest of fire temporary one. That's it. Then the building becomes something for church or something. This Westminster Abbey, which is there, there's no way in every year I buy a walk room because let's build Westminster Abbey. Maybe they will build something like a community center hall, because they don't have the weather, maybe to be doing parade. But even the parade they do sometimes behind the king's flat, they do it on foot. In the open. So if they needed a room because of their weather and which they needed a room, they will build some amenity, something that can be converted into other things like staging of concert and the rest. Even that, everything will be above board. Everything about it will be transparent. The money will be named, the money for that project, where they are going to get the money from. Even if there's any additions or something, they will always make sure public accounts is maintained, public awareness, public understanding of what is happening. In Ghana, Obia mfa Ghana for, mbu Ghana for fire yehwe. Obia kika di ope. One cathedral project. Bibia she se suma say, you go and find out that they will come and be defended. They turn to firefighters. They will be coming to defend. Oh, this one is this. Oh, a black one has got it wrong. Oh, this one is that. And this one is this. Basa. A black one had to drag the finance minister to parliament before they got to know that monies have been paid from the state coffers. I mean, how wicked, how disrespectful can one be against their own people? How? Ekufado. And not that you are the cleverest man on the planet, in the country, or the most handsome, beautiful, whatever. No, you are not. Asembe Kureni. Asembe Kureni.
NFM Radio. NFM Radio. NFM Radio.
NFM Radio minim se muda ho. Minim se munyina so minim se emuda ho. 3 minutes to go, so I will leave it as that, and hopefully tomorrow evening we'll come back and do the same thing. Like I said, I'm going to invite Felix Ofusukwachi to come and tell us what he wants to do. For what it's worth, I will say thank you very much. Have a good evening. Cheers.
NFM Radio, Emudaho. NFM Radio, Emudaho. Mania, see fire will burn you. NFM Radio, Jumedia Mansa Musa Ede Bro, Edgewater Copem Memneda, and Rain on Song, Ecopem Non Do. Listen to Fire Will Burn You on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa, Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. NFM Radio, Emudaho. NFM Radio. NFM Radio, emu da ho.